Hi there, Onelife friends. My name is Jeanette and I'm a supporter and friend of Onelife, and it's my pleasure to join you for this part of the series in the book of Nehemiah. I'm going to be taking you through some points on chapter 6 of Nehemiah. And in this chapter, we find Nehemiah faced with a really unique set of challenges. He's faced with his enemies trying to intimidate him and to pick a fight with him. See, he was called to a very visible and exposed leadership position. God had placed a vision in his heart to rebuild the walls of his city, Jerusalem. And as he carried out this task, he was faced with people who are willing to lie and to undermine him and to try to intimidate him so that he would be derailed from his strategy and distracted from his calling. So let's have a look at what he faced. In verses 1 to 3, we read, "Now when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arab and the rest of our enemies heard that I had built the wall, they sent to me saying, 'Come and let us meet together.' But they intended to do me harm. And I sent messengers to them saying, 'I'm doing a great work. I cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and come down to you?'" How must it have felt knowing that people openly opposed Nehemiah? This wasn't an isolated incident. We read that his enemies tried 5 times to draw him into conflict, making up stories, making up lies, and trying to discredit him. When they weren't successful, they used their influence to sway one of Nehemiah's allies, Shemaiah, who tries to plant fear in his heart, suggesting that his life would be in danger if he continued to pursue his calling. Nehemiah discerns what's happening, and in verses 12 and 13 he says, "I realized that God had not sent him, but that he had prophesied against me, because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. He had been hired to intimidate me so that I would commit a sin by doing this, and then they would give me a bad name to discredit me." This was deliberate and malicious. It was a conspiracy against Nehemiah. How heartbreaking for him to know that even the people that he should have been able to trust were willing to betray him so that they could increase in their own influence. But we can learn from Nehemiah's response, particularly a simple prayer that he said in the midst of fearful opposition and heartbreaking betrayal. Nehemiah prayed this prayer. He prayed, "Now strengthen my hands." He refused to be distracted and drawn into the fray of scandal and heated arguments. He refused to be weakened by those who directly sought to undermine him. Instead, he prayed for God to strengthen his hands so that he and his team could complete the task that was set before them. God honored Nehemiah's prayer. The work was complete in good time, and even though the intimidation continued, it turned out that Nehemiah's enemies' bark was much worse than their bite. This really resonates with me because there have been times for me working in the political sphere when the exposure has felt really overwhelming and I've wanted to run and hide. I've not wanted to be in the limelight because it felt quite scary, really challenging personally. But when I've turned to God and I've sought him and I've asked him to strengthen my hands, he has always come through for me. So as God calls you into visible positions of leadership, just be reassured that he will be with you. You can ask him to strengthen your hands and he will come through. God bless you as you seek to serve him wherever he's called you.